Hi guys, hope you're all doing great. Today I'm going to show you how to make this bonnet without using any elastic. It's just a wrap-up bonnet and inside it is satin. So the first thing that I did was to cut my satin fabric. You can start with your African print fabric or your satin fabric, and this was 20 inches by 20 inches, and then I folded it 2 times like that into a little square, and then I pinned on the open edges just to make sure that it does not move. The only corner that I did not pin is the one at the center. Then I started to mark about 10 inches in a circular motion like that. So if you want your bonnet to be much bigger, you can make this fabric like maybe 24 or 26 inches. That all depends on you. And then after that, I just used my scissors and then I cut along that line that I drew with my chalk. I'm sorry if it's not visible enough. Next time I'll try to use a different colored chalk. So when I open up, this is the circle that I have. Then I now took my African print fabric and then I took my circle satin fabric and then I just laid it on top like that. Then I pinned it right round. And then I cut away the fabric using a scissors. After cutting, I now hid my African print circle fabric and the satin fabric, and then I laid them right sides facing each other like that to make sure that such that the outsides of the fabric were facing inside. And then I folded it and then I went to the corner and then I marked about 3 inches. Then I took my curved ruler and then I just drew that little curve on the corner, on the folded corner like that, and then I cut it out. Then I took my scissors and then I just made all these little snips before I turned it inside out. So now you notice that the shiny side of the satin is now back on the outside. Then I just went ahead and then I pinned everything together like that. Then I now took this long piece of fabric. These are 2 joined long pieces of fabric. When joined, the entire length of this piece of fabric was 2 yards and then the width was 5 inches. Then I just ironed it out to make it flat and then I started folding in the edges about ½ an inch inside and ironing. Then I also folded the strip of fabric in half like that, and then Then I went to the ends of the little strip of fabric, of the long strip of fabric, and then I cut the edges like that. I would mark about 2 inches and then I would cut diagonally to give that shape at the edges. And then I now took that fabric and then I went right onto the center. Then I marked about 11 inches on each side. So the resulting length that I'm trying to get at the center of this fabric is 22 inches, which is the circumference of my head. Then I now started to join the circular fabric with the long band of the fabric. And while I was doing this, I was just trying to fold and reduce the length, the circumference of the circular fabric. While I was doing this, I was just pleating that circular fabric and trying to reduce its length as much as possible so that it fits into that 22-inch space that I've marked on the fabric. So I was trying to pleat the circular fabric and trying to make sure that I reduce it to about 22 inches so that at the point where the 22-inch mark stops, that is where the fabric, the circular fabric, is also ending, just as I am trying to do there. It's kind of hard for me to explain, but I'm hoping that the demonstration will show.
As we wait for the smoke to clear and we watch our dreams appear, I know that we can rise together. This vision that we share is ours.
So in the end, I have something that looks like this. As you can see, it is already starting to make that circular shape of what a hair bonnet usually looks like. And at the back, we have that opening. This makes sure that when you tie it, it overlaps nicely. Then the next thing that I did was to do a tacking stitch on the places where I had pinned and pleated to make sure that when I go to sew on the sewing machine, it will be easier. Then I went on to sew the entire band on the sewing machine from the point where it starts up until the point where it ends, including the part that I had done the tacking stitch. Then I removed my tacking stitch, and that is what I had. So that little gap at the back, it makes it easy for you when you're tying, so that at the back everything can overlap nicely. So when I put it on, I just put it on like that, and then I bring those 2 long bands and then I tie them on the front like that. This is a very nice bonnet to wear, especially when you're just at home and you're not going anywhere, especially during this time. Thank you for watching this video. I hope to see you in my next DIY projects. Bye.